Hey gang, KC Nix, PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. Let's catch up from last week. So I was trying to give you some tips outside the normal selling situation. So I've got all the people that come to my website, I get leads on, or people that come to the dealership. And then, how can I expand? Well, last week I talked about calling customers back off the service ROs, where the mileage and the year would dictate in our market area that they may be close to trading a car. So I can add those numbers. So if I call 1,200 people, 5 people a day, 1,200 people, if I divide that by the number of months, that adds 10 more cars a month. So if I'm normally a 20 car a month person, now I'm a 30 car a month person. But wait a minute, that's if everybody buys in the first year. Remember, I don't ever let these customers go. So the entire 1,200, I might sell every one of them if I'm willing to be patient and work with them over time. Most people aren't, but I'm just saying. So you got 2 sources to be able to add some outside revenue to your selling career. I can work with a group of people that have to buy a car. So that is my giant percentage, small volume. So for example, if I know for a fact that I've got X number of cars coming back off lease in the month of March in 2021, if I start working with those customers 6 months out, then there's a great chance that I might be able to get each and every one of them. Some of them might buy their vehicle. They might go ahead and work with the bank and buy the vehicle. But for most of them, they're in a lease because they like new cars. If I work with them and I'm diligent, then I might be able to close close to 100% of those people. Now, I'm not going to get a whole lot of them, but I've got those leads. So that would be a lead structure that would have a high percentage of close. Now, on the other side, if I'm calling the ROs, now I'm communicating with 1,200 people, and I'm hoping to get a few people to buy here and there. So it's a volume, and I'm doing a smaller percentage, but the volume's higher. So you see what I'm saying? One way is a high percentage, the other way is a low percentage, but massive volume. So some of the things I've done in the past, and you have to be really, really, really conscious about this now because of privacy laws. Evidently, when I started selling cars back in the day, I mean, anything went. I'm just being honest with you. The 80s were wide open. So every single day, we would have somebody come in dragging a car on a wrecker. Okay, so the car didn't run. If the car ran, they would have drove it to the dealership. So when I saw a Toyota come in on the wrecker, and the same wrecker driver, it was over and over. So there was a guy in our town that was, he hustled. And he was on the phone, and he would go pick up cars, and he was working. He was 24 hours a day. Really super skinny guy, so I don't think he ever ate anything. So I walked over to, I'll tell you his name. His name was Tim. And I walked up to him one day and I said, can I get you a cup of coffee? And he goes, yeah. So I handed it to him right there. So I already had the coffee. And we sat there and talked, and I said, so, you get calls on wrecks, and you get calls on cars that are broke down. About how many calls a day do you get? So we talk about that, and he goes, I'm really starting my business right now. I don't own the wrecker, so I'm working for a guy. So the guy was getting paid hourly. And so I said, listen, if you're at the scene of an accident, forgive this, I'm going to do it though, and the customer's okay, everybody's okay, your client's okay, but their Avalon is wrapped around a telephone pole, and that telephone pole is never coming out of that car again. You've got to be at least 99% sure that that car is going to be a total loss, correct? He goes, dude, I'm the first one that knows. If I can't even pull it with my wrecker, that car's gone. And back in the day, I said, if you'd give my cards out to people, if they buy a car, then I'll take care of you. We've got a program here in the dealership. Now, be cautious and listen to what I'm saying and process on a bigger scale. So if I've got a guy that I know owns a wrecker company, the biggest problem people have when they have a wreck is dealing with their insurance company. Are they going to give them enough to replace the car? So I've always found out, if you battle with the insurance company, then the number always goes up because the insurance company has a vested interest in paying you as little as possible because they're a profit company. They're trying to make a profit. But if you sit there and you can send them over some specs that to replace that Avalon right now currently in the market, retail price is right here and they're $1,500 lower, then the insurance company will come up on the replacement dollar amount. And I'm willing to do that if a customer asks me, I can put together all the specs for them. This is a lot of work. But there is a lot of time you're at a dealership where you've got nothing going on. How many wrecks are in your market area every day? If you live in a major metro, how many wrecks do you pass a day? Of all those cars, how many cars are total lost? So if I can develop a relationship with a couple of different record drivers, then they certainly can pass my car. Casey works over at Toyota. He's a super guy. If you're looking to replace a car, if this car ends up being totaled, I would call him. He will do everything for you, and he'll even give you the specs to send to your insurance company. He's a great guy. I've developed a relationship with this record driver. That made me a lot. That made me a lot of car deals, gang. Made me a lot of car deals. On the other side, if the car is going to get worked on at a body shop, a lot of times they'll drag the car in directly to the body shop, and the body shop manager will walk out and talk to the record driver. They'll have a conversation. What do you think? Man, this is never going to be on the road again. So when the insurance adjuster finally gets over 3 to 7 days later, the record driver and the body shop manager have already made a decision the car's total loss. If I've got a friend that's in a body shop, maybe the body shop at your dealership doesn't have to be there. I don't think there's any salesperson in your dealership that's gone back and sat down with a body shop manager and go, boss, when you get a car back there that's totaled, if you'll give me the name and number of the customer, I will help them and rep them with their insurance company so that they can get the right amount of money, because we want to definitely take care of them because you can't repair the car. There's no revenue lost for the body shop because the car was deemed a total loss. But how many independent body shops are in your city? I'm just asking you. Do I expect any salesperson to do this? I really don't. I don't. Do I think if you did it, it would add incremental sales to you? And some of these will be the most profitable deals, and the customer will stay with you forever because you physically, they don't know how to deal with the insurance company. They didn't want to wreck their car. It's crazy. So I've even got to the point where when I've run a store before, once we've fixed a car, the car went through the body shop and we did everything right. So many customers don't want to drive that car anymore. They really don't. That car's been wrecked. They know it was repaired properly, but now it's a wrecked car, and within the next few months, they start thinking about trading out of that car because the car's been in an accident. I always send a letter to the customer saying, hey, I'm Casey, I'm the general manager of ABC Toyota, and I hope you're satisfied with our body work. Our body shop is the most premier body shop in the whole market area, and we are super proud of them. Please let me know if there's anything that you're dissatisfied with, and I don't think I'm going to get a call from you. A lot of my customers, once they've had an accident in the car, then the car becomes less desirable. They're thinking, you know, I don't know how much longer I want to keep the car. I've had the body work on it, and you start thinking about trading the car. I will let you know, we are the highest bidder for your car because we can sell the car as a wrecked car because we did the body work. We know everything about the car, everything about the body work. We have before and after pictures. So if in the next few months that you think that you want to sell the car, please contact me personally and I'll take care of you any way I can. So I've given you a couple of examples today. These are the tip of the iceberg. Remember, most of the iceberg is below the water level. But during the winter months, think about this. Sit down one day with a piece of paper and think about, who are the people that have to buy a car? And who are the people that want to buy a car? The have to buy cars are always going to be closed at a higher percentage. If you have a new driver coming in the family, I'm going to do one more and then I'm done. Apologize. Customer sitting there and their 14-year-old son is there while they're buying this Tacoma. 14-year-old son's there, and we're waiting on the business office, and I looked over and I go, hey, let me ask you a question. When you get your first vehicle, do you want a truck like your dad, or are you probably going to go with like a sporty car or something like that? You know, if you had the choice right now, what would be your desire? He goes, you know what? You know, I would like to have a truck. You know, it doesn't even matter to be a new truck. It doesn't matter, just have a truck. And so I've got a commitment out of a 14-year-old buyer right there. So I'm going to contact the father about 6 months out before their 16th birthday, and I'm going to go, hey, little Bobby Jr. is going to be 16 in 6 months. And the dad's going, really? I mean, it's crazy that dads don't even know how old their kids are. And you know, man, we had the conversation when you took delivery of your truck that he was interested in maybe a used truck as his first vehicle. And the longer you give me the look, the better chance I can get you one that's going to be within your price range and your comfortability. And I'd be willing to, if you're thinking about doing that, let me get started right now. How many customers have you sold cars that they had a kid that was going to be driving age 1, 2, or 3 years from now? I hope this piqued your interest. We don't have to stand there and look out the window and hope somebody will drive in the dealership that actually can buy a car. We can create it for ourselves. PK52, the Saturday Morning Meeting.